Hey YouTube, thought I'd take you along for a ride. Nice fall day.
Heart rate 100, above
50 degrees. I think today will be pretty close to the 4,000 mark after I finish, depending on how far I go, of course. Colder weather, I tend to ride shorter distances because the battery just doesn't hold up. We're talking as in once it gets below 50 degrees, a 30% loss in battery capacity. Literally end up with going from 57 miles to like in the 35 to 37 mile range. Normally when I start my ride, my bike battery, the beginning is always around 50 to 57 miles, depending on the temperature, but today it showed 42 miles as my beginning mileage estimate. And as I get into town, it might get up to 50, but by the time I leave town, it'll be back down into the 40s again. It's just because it estimates it. It updates the estimate every about every 10 seconds or so. It goes by, it says that it uses 1,000 calculations in a minute to figure out the estimated range. Right, like it started out at 42, it just said 46, then went back down to 45. It's amazing what 4 degrees will do. Yesterday by this time I was really cold. Especially in my hands.
Lap speed 12.8. Total 1 mile. Current speed 15.8. Average speed 12.8. Heart rate 126 beats per minute.
Got a slight headwind today. And up ahead of me is where I used to work before I retired. Or medically retired, I should say. They're getting my understanding is they're getting ready to reopen the business. It was closed for 3 or 4 years now. To make aluminum impact products, car industry parts. And it would be called Mueller Impacts Belding, I would assume. We're working today. They've been upgrading stuff and putting equipment in it for the last week, so I would imagine we're still at least a month or two before they even start doing anything. It's the biggest building building by a long ways, and the original part of it was made in the 1800s. It was a horse barn originally. That part of the building's still there. This is all part of the Flat River Trail. Goes from Greenville clear to Lowell. 22 miles, I think, is the total length from Greenville. Trying to figure out why am I watching. Oh, it's running. Lost most of the leaves off the trees except for the ones that haven't turned at all. And I know the trail manager was working on blowing the leaves off the trail. He was starting in Greenville, so he hasn't gotten here yet. along Lake Road. This is the end of the pavement for about it says about 4 miles, 3.5, 4 miles. This is pretty hard packed, but it has its sections that are really just gravel road now. When it first converted it from a rail bed to a trail, this was crushed asphalt, and they came and rolled it and basically made it into a blacktop road. But this is what, 6-7 years later. It's parts of it have deteriorated into gravel. Now we're back to 42 miles again for the estimated range. As you can see, we're pretty much in gravel now. Colors aren't really popping like they were a week or so. Now we're just mainly into the dark browns. I need to stop one of these days, and they should put a shovel right there at that road crossing so you can take the lip that they grind into the road off and make it a little easier to get over the bump. Oh, I think I'm in ninth gear right now out of 10. The bike says I'm going 18.6 miles an hour, and we're in touring, which would be the equivalent of a PS3 on most bikes. But I have only 4 settings: Echo, Echo, Touring, Sport, and Turbo. Turbo being 250% of effort. So whatever effort you're putting into your ride, it amplifies it by 250%. Touring, which I ride in 99% of the time, is 100%. So this trail technically can only have class 1 and class 2 bikes on it. There is only paved trails are allowed to have class 3 bikes on them. And those classes have changed quite a bit over the years. Used to be a class 3 was a bike with a throttle that could go 28 miles an hour. Then they changed it. Class 3 is 28 mile an hour bike without a throttle. Class 2 is a 20 mile an hour bike with a throttle. And Class 1 is a 20 mile an hour bike without a throttle, at least in Michigan. So we're coming up on 5 miles. Here's the difference in the heart rate. When I'm riding in summertime, I'd probably be going faster and my heart rate would be lower. But in this cold weather, it's a lot higher. So I'm burning more energy, so I don't have to go as far to burn the same calories. Like yesterday, 46 degrees. My hands were so cold already, I was wanting to stop. Down to 35 miles of range now. I believe we have some homeless people living in this part of the forest. I've seen tents in the garbage can, and I've seen sleeping bags, and now we have another sleeping bag in the garbage can. So state land on both sides of us. Now this is all privately owned, both sides. Watch your road. And maple syrup gathering trees are using poly line to gravity feed their buckets. And he blew this off yesterday and it's already covered again. At least it isn't as bad. Ooh, I was slow today.
Average speed 14.8. Heart rate 139 beats per minute.
I have been as fast as 24 minutes for the 7 miles, but today I was 28 minutes. And we're back up to 35 miles. Six miles. Had to go get Karen from Ann Arbor. Her and her girlfriend had a disagreement and they didn't want to be around each other.
God.
And this is the end of the Fred Meijer Flat River, and then we're going to the Heartland Trail, Fred Meijer Heartland. Now, coming up is what most people get confused about.
Lap speed 3 minutes 42 seconds. Lap speed 16.1. Total 7.99 miles.
If you
31 minutes 54 seconds. Current speed 16.0.
take the lower trail, you're in Greenville still.
Heart rate 104 beats per minute.
And this is the Heartland Trail. So if you don't go over a bridge when you come to the traffic circle, you're on the wrong trail. It's just going to take you around Greenville pretty much. There are ways to get to the Heartland Trail from it, but this is the most direct route. We're riding between two car manufacturers that are owned by the same company, but it looks like they're pretty busy for a Saturday. Janico. Looks like it must be about shift change time. We're up to 38 miles again.